This episode of Nuff Said is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
Recording has started. And that's the music. And that's the sound that lets you know weirdness is about to begin. Hey, cats and kittens. My name is Charlie, the Professor Esser, here to guide you along the world of comic wisdom and foolishness. Which path are we on? You'll only know when we get to the end. And with me, as always, is the bashful blue-eyed bomber of the Burg of Pits.
Phil me and Perich, which nickname you gave me, which like everyone uses now.
Fill me in. Well, because you always fill me in. You see, what people don't know is I'm a big picture guy. I'm like Stan Lee. I like that big epic. And then Phil is my Jack Kirby. He fills in the details. He says, okay, well, he's going to have at least have 5 toes in the scene. Maybe 3 if I'm feeling excited.
I would have bet money you were going to call me Shooter.
No, you're not a shooter, Phil. Let's manage our expectations.
I know.
No, I'm just saying you do the detail. No, and I won't say I don't know enough about Shooter to say he did the detail work. As far as no, Shooter did broad strokes. Shooter was just very controlling, and that's why people got mad at him. But sometimes you need a good you need a good editor. You know, you need a guy that says, look, chill out. This is the story. This is the arc. All you guys stand in the arc, you know?
Mm-hmm.
By twos, okay? Let's get it going. Writer and artist, you're gather up all the writers and artists of the world by twos and have them produce great work. That was Jim Shooter's motto, and that's where it got us. Anyway, welcome back to the show, kids. For those of you who just listened to Capes and Lunatics, our mother show. We are but a little offspring of them. We just struggle to reach the teeth of Capes and Lunatics.
It's basically the same. We just don't have big personality and little hellfire over here.
Yeah, well, you know, I invited Tyler to show up. I said, hey, because he was working. So, hey, if you get off around 9 and it's already 9:43, feel free to jump in, man. Because, you know, we missed the guy. Okay, let's look at things to talk about this week. You want to talk murder mysteries, WandaVision, or comic books?
I don't know. Did you want to save comics for last? Because that's what we usually do. No.
We usually do, but we're not bound by the rules, man.
Well, let's talk about this murder mystery.
Let's talk about the murder mystery. I do want to get to WandaVision, though, because there's lots about that going on. So somebody's dead. Oh. No, that's it's a green woman on Star Trek, but actually it's Deanna Troi, and just a green mist is invading her mind, which probably will end poorly. It's next gen. So,
yeah. Oh,
no, Loxana was on the other ones. I don't think she's been on anything Star Trek until the Orville. So that's weird.
Who?
Anyway,
who? Troy?
Yeah, Troy. I don't think she ever showed up on Voyager or DS9.
She was. It's weird. She was on Enterprise.
She was on Enterprise?
Wasn't it I think it was the last episode where it was basically like Riker and Troy were talking about like that original Enterprise, and like they showed through flashbacks and stuff. So yeah, it was. Oh no! Troy was on Voyager because remember, like she was talking. There was at least an episode or two where she was talking to Barclay.
Oh. Okay. Oh, yes. I remember that now. Okay. Yeah. Wow, there's such a panoply of characters on that show that you often forget about, and they were all of Barclay, my favorite.
Yes.
Commander Broccoli. Which, why is that not a super? How does Commander Carrot get a role and not Commander Broccoli? Anyway, moving right along. What were we talking about? We were talking about
murder mystery.
Murder mysteries. So someone got murdered in the Marvel Universe. That never happens. But for some reason, the 4 original members of the Fantastic Four are there. Jane Foster is there. in her Valkyrie persona. Black Panther is there as well as Captain Marvel. It's a white person being killed.
Iron Man.
Iron Man was there?
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture now. Yeah, Well, at least the armor's there. I'm assuming it's Tony Stark.
Okay, or maybe that's Tony Stark's body, and he's like, "No, may I again?" You know.
No, like we said,
that body was pretty.
Yeah, it looks kind of like.
Go ahead, Philip.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was going to say, no, we were saying before, it kind of looks like a woman.
Okay, Phil thinks it looks like a woman. There is some mild flaring at the hips, arguably. There is shading on the left side of the chest. Now, does that denote a woman? I don't know.
Like I think it's either a woman or someone young. Like, it could be like a teenager, maybe.
Well, a teenager wouldn't necessarily have flaring at the hips.
No.
Unless they were a female teenager. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's what is... Oh my gosh. I just realized who it is.
Who?
Destiny. Or is she already dead?
She's already dead. Yeah, no. The Destiny we saw in House X, I think, was from one of those other timelines. Yeah, no, Destiny's been it's like, I think, late 80s.
So she's been dead for a while then. Okay, then never mind that. Yeah, because that was just, that's the thing when we think about it, like, who could it be? It's like, well, it's not Agatha the Harkness because she's already dead. It's not Aunt May, because if it was Aunt May, then Spider-Man would be there.
Well, did you see all these like images we're getting for this incoming event? Because I guess that's what they're calling it. Like the first one was, did you see that image with the guy with this? There's somebody with a sword who they're not showing who it is.
Oh, fudge. Okay. So jumping right ahead. My first theory was, it's the Beyonder.
It could be.
It's the Beyonder's body is dead. And they're like, well, I recognize that body. Who could not miss that hair? This man was found in a Captain EO outfit on 34th Street. He's got long, black, curly hair, but he's a white dude and he's pretty ripped. Oh, that's the Beyonder. I know that.
Hey, comic book Beyonder copied Captain America, so, they're like, I recognize that ass.
It is America's ass.
That's right.
Yeah. That's, as people have said, Sam has more than just big shoes to fill.
But I mean, yeah. So we got the clue. I mean, some figure holding a sword over their head that says one will unite them, and then we got the dead body with everyone standing around it. Then did you see that? There's like a figure like blacked out. It's like a dead body in a chalk outline, and I don't know if it's like the Star brand on its chest, maybe.
Oh my gosh! They had mentioned that in an episode of Avengers recently. The new Star brand had shown up. It was one of the many offhanded battle scenes that T'Challa's getting from the computer. He's getting a debriefing. I think it was the one when they had the fake Damien Hellstrom show up with a shaved head.
Oh, yeah.
Damien Hellstrom. It's clearly one of his clones because he actually said he made clones of himself just to see what their destiny would be. Once you get casual to the idea of human life and the existence of an immortal soul, what the heck? Let's see what this one will. Let's see what this person will do. Hey, that's interesting.
I mean, he's the son of Satan.
Yeah, he is the son of Satan. So that's the thing. But there was a mention in that episode about a new Star brand who is unstable has come into existence. Now, I don't know what happened to the last Star brand. I thought the last Star brand was still operational, but maybe not so much. There's too many books now. Who knows who died in the last issue? Well,
what was that big Marvel? What was that book? But didn't Ghost Rider kill Star brand or something? What was that big Marvel book? Marvel was it Marvel Legacy? Was that the name of it?
Possibly. I don't know. I didn't read it. I'm guessing by the name of it, it was at least a $5 book, and it wasn't exactly my Marvel 1000. So,
yeah, it was like a year. It was at least a year ago, I think. So, but yeah. But so all those clues are floating out there, and then the last thing I saw today is they said, a alliance is coming between Xavier, Magneto, and Apocalypse.
Well, there's already an alliance between Magneto, Xavier, and Apocalypse. It's called House of X.
I know.
I thought you were reading that book, Phil.
Well, I mean, they put it out there as a headline today, like it's like a big surprise. I'm like, even if you look at the the X-Men books that are coming after House of X and Powers of X. Xavier, Magneto, and Apocalypse are all over those covers. I'm like, you knew this was coming.
Well, maybe they feel not everyone is. So, for example, if I was not an X fan, which I am not, but that's an interesting side note to a series of books I don't read. It's like if you were an X fan and someone said, "Oh, Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom are teaming up," and oh, that's interesting. Didn't they already do that like several times? It's like they've all done, but this time Kang's in it. It's like, really, Kang?
Haven't they been
it's around a Kang, and that makes it different. It's because not for nothing, even within that entire concept, it's like Magneto is allied with Apocalypse.
Yeah,
Xavier's allied with Magneto. They've all allied because I don't know. It's I think not for nothing, and this is I'm being 1,000% honest here. Marvel's trying to make X-Men happen.
I told you, I think they're kind of playing with them, keeping them kind of, I don't want to say generic, but until Disney puts out like a set, image and plan for like the movies and stuff, then they're going to like mold them into that, whatever that comes.
Well, no, I think it's the exact opposite. I think that Hickman was hired to say, make the X-Men. Make X-Men something that we can use. Because not for nothing, the Fox's X-Men we can't use because they've, been around the block a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say there's anything wrong with that, but it's like, first off, unless we're casting Patrick Stewart and the other guy, it's like, the young guys, it's like, well, that's going to be too much tied to the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you could put. So when the Lost in Space reboot came out, the actor who played Dr. Zachary Smith, who was still alive but insanely old, was very upset that he wasn't asked to. Much like Adam West was upset that they didn't even ask him.
I thought you were going to say Shatner.
No. Well, no, Shatner is very self-aware. You can't be that good at what you do and not be self-aware. So Shatner basically said, well, not Shatner, but Adam West was like, I was a little annoyed they didn't even ask me to be a part of the film when the '88 Batman came out, because he didn't expect himself to be Batman, but he said, well, maybe they could, they could make me Alfred, they could make me Commissioner Gordon. There's lots of roles you could put me in, and I was a little offended that they said, we don't want Adam West associated with us.
Yeah.
And then they went and did, and honestly, like, if you ever want to talk about suits interfering, I will wager that freaking, what's his name? Who directed that film? Tim Burton wanted Adam West, but to do a cameo. But the studio said, no, Adam West. Don't associate us with Adam West.
Yeah, I think,
or to be more specific, that jerk who bought the rights to Batman when it was cheap. And it's now like, I own Batman because I'm the random plebe at Marvel who heard that, or DC that heard that Batman was available, and I bought it for like $1,000 because my uncle's rich, and so I did. Yeah. And now I'm a millionaire or a billionaire or what, God knows what. But he's basically DC's Perlmutter, just a jerk who owns the rights to things, who causes problems for people.
Yeah, but I just think with that '89 Batman movie, they wanted to distance themselves from the Adam West Batman series, and they were like, yeah, look, it was basically Batman's, after this serials of the 40s, this was like Batman's first like big, well, after the 1966 movie, but this was like, first big Batman movie in 20 years. They want to be like, well, okay, this isn't that goofy Batman, this is the dark Batman. And if you have Adam West in the movie, you're being constantly reminded.
But then why do you why do you get Tim Burton to direct it? Why do you get the most comic booky of directors who designed the entire city of Gotham to look like just some strange Salvador Dali image of? How would Salvador Dali design a city if he read comic books?
They wanted it dark, but they are also like, oh yeah, this is a comic book movie.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Tim Burton didn't do good. I'm just saying my money is that there was a conversation in a studio office where Tim Burton said, yeah, well, we should get Adam West and Burt Ward And then we should get, Eartha Kitt to show up in this film. Just cameos, just the way they did in Superman. The way they had Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane show up in Superman. Just small bits, small character bits, and everyone loved it, and it was like, yay, they're there, and that's fun, and everyone enjoys it.
Yeah, but remember 1989, I don't think they knew the power, especially the suits, they didn't know the power of the crossover. They didn't think people cared about that, but then once everyone was like, oh yeah, you should get that older, that actor from the previous version in there, and, nowadays, they, look what Crisis on Infinite Earths is going to do. I mean, it's, now they know.
I know, but what I'm saying is Donner knew it in the 80s. Donner knew it in the late 70s.
Yeah, but you said the suits. The suits are always the last to know.
I know, fair enough. I mean, I guess that's my point on it, is that, for what it's worth, at the end of the day, there was an entire universe available, and I don't think Tim Burton was the one who said, I don't want Adam West in my film. I don't think Tim Burton was going to say, no, I'm making an artistic piece and we can't have any silly comic book frivolity in my film. I do not believe for a second that Tim Burton said that.
Yeah, no, suits.
Yeah, I mean, I can absolutely see Tim Burton casting Adam West as like a milkman, but that's about it. That's like the lowest blow I could give to Tim Burton on that subject. It's like, yeah, he's going to come in there, he's going to here's your milk, Mr. Wayne. Just to show how out of time the entire Batman universe is, which then feeds into the Timiverse and everything else that's come with Batman, of the out of time concept, the concept that you don't know exactly what time it is. That feeds into Gotham, although they all have flip phones, probably because the city won't pay for anything more than that. Moving right along.
All right.
How did we get on the subject? I don't know. I forget how we got in there. We were talking about
the X-Men.
X-Men, yes. Yeah, the X-Men.
Because we went from that incoming event to X-Men. The alliance between those X-Men characters and then the movies.
Yeah. I mean, incoming sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what we're really meant to take from it. The image is a bunch of puzzle pieces in a cosmic vision with a photograph. What a ridiculous image to have.
Listen to Capes and Lunatics this week to get that joke.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I guess Dr. Manhattan's attacking the Marvel Universe now. Or the Marvel pastiche of Dr. Manhattan, who is, wait for it, the Molecule Man, which we see as a central figure in the current Future Foundation. So, and again, displaying exactly how absolutely nothing that, what's his name, Alan Moore, ever does is original. Dr. Manhattan is literally just the Molecule Man, but painted blue, who doesn't like to wear clothes. He's basically if the Molecule Man wasn't kind of nebbishy, it's like, what if the Molecule Man was like, oh, like, I'm the Molecule Man, and I'm like the most powerful being in the omniverse and whatnot. And it's like, well, he actually has been that way several times. He still didn't take off his pants.
What if Molecule Man helped the Future Foundation rebuild the multiverse? Like, I mean, with the Starbrand stuff, what if we're like folding in like the entire new universe? Maybe that dead body is someone from the new universe, and that's why Tony's there, Reed Richards is there, T'Challa's there. They're like, okay, this is a metahuman. This is like a superhuman, but like no one we've ever seen. Their I don't know, their aura or whatever isn't from this universe. Where the hell is this body coming from?
Yeah, it's some dude from Kickers Incorporated. Oh, they gotta fold in Kickers Incorporated.
Hey, maybe it's like a universe, Well,
but the thing is Kickers Incorporated is like the one new universe thing that was like, we don't talk. Like, of all the things in the universe, like, we don't talk about Kickers Incorporated.
Wouldn't you like to talk about your DP7?
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about DP7. Let's talk about any of these other things. Kickers Incorporated, although for what it's worth, it's like and this of course is the genius of Shooter. Is like, I think that sports teams would want to have comic books things and then several years later, you actually do get a cartoon about superpowered superheroes. I forget what it was called, but it had a tie-in with Static Shock. So,
what was that? Was that around 1990? Didn't it? Yeah, I never read it, but no, that NFL Superpro comic or whatever.
Well, yeah, they did a cartoon of it too.
Oh, did they?
They did. They did a Super Pro cartoon. They had a hockey player, a basketball player. And it was just it was Steel times 1,000. It was beautiful in its eccentricity.
I couldn't bring even at 12 years old. I'm like, I can't bring myself to read this.
Yeah, it was an interesting idea and an interesting concept. But but that Shooter was a guy who let's look at what is coming and let's get ahead of it. But unfortunately, sometimes you get too far ahead of it and everyone just thinks you're just running crazily. It's like, it's coming. It's like, there's nothing behind you. It's like, no, trust me, it's coming. It's like, well, in 10 years, it's going to be here. Trust me. Start running now. And it's like, you fool, Shooter, just keep running. Just keep running. And then it's like, oh, look at that. And that's how the universe goes, Sometimes you're too smart for your own good. That's the problem.
But yeah, I mean, I'm assuming we're going to get more clues between now and then, because I think they said that Incoming it drops the day after Christmas, so we got a few months.
Oh, it's Santa. It's Mrs. Claus. Who killed Mrs. Santa, as Gwenpool will point out, is canon in the Marvel verse.
So Santa will become another Punisher.
Who knows? Well, always was, those sticks and coal. Now we're gonna use them.
Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
Like Kingpin. Now I know you've been naughty. Just saying, man. The possibilities are endless. So yeah, it's a person, possibly a lady, under a sheet. She has. This is my thing. It's I feel like the way they drew her ankles and feet were kind of weathered. I mean, they weren't your typical superhero feet.
Well, like I said, we don't know the method of death. I mean, what if someone got burned to death or something? Or
well, there was no charring, though.
I know.
That's my thing. Philip, when it comes to autopsies, I think I know a bit about them.
But I'm just saying. I mean, the condition of the body could, we don't know cause of death. So
yeah. Well, based on what we've seen, I think it's extreme old age. So I mean, that's. Oh my God, they're going to kill Sharon Carter. She's 40, Philip. That's too old in a comic book.
I mean, hey, Peggy's back. We got a version of Peggy back, so a young Peggy. So
yeah, I know. And that is just Ta-Nehisi. Don't go there. Ta-Nehisi be better than that.
He won't. I mean, maybe it's someone else writing this incoming event. It might be someone else writing the death scene.
Yeah,
I mean, right now we got the reverse of the old Peggy Sharon relationship, because now Sharon physically is older than Peggy.
She's still only 42.
I know, but
that's the thing. It's like she was only there for 12 years. It's like this is I mean, I guess they're writing for 13 years. Wow, 12 years. I'd be 25. Goodness, what would I be there? That'd be some kind of strange, emaciated, mere skeleton walking self.
Oh my Lord!
In 12 years.
Oh my Lord! She's 40 years old. Where's her walker?
Yeah, I mean, not for nothing. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. So that's so. Whoever this person is murdered, they have weathered ankles. It's a white person, possibly female. It's well, I mean, the obvious thought is they're finally probably going to get around to killing off freaking Aunt May.
Well, I told you, would Spider-Man be in that picture if it was Aunt May?
No, he's out seeking vengeance. Actually, you know what? That makes it the most likely that it is Aunt May, because that Spider-Man's well, last time one of these people, last time the the sibling of my parent died, I went on a murderous rampage. So, guess it's that time of year again. And that's the idea. He's just like, guess it's that time of year again. I got to go out and I got to go kill somebody because I'm the Spider-Man. And I got to kill stuff because I'm really nothing spiders kill things.
Yeah.
So if you're a Spider-Man, you're probably going to kill things. So.
All right. Let's switch. I mean, you said you wanted to talk some WandaVision.
I want to talk some WandaVision because this is the big theory out there in the universe right now, is that in the same way Netflix built two Defenders, well, their version of the Defenders, basically the best Defenders they could do on short notice. I don't think any of those guys were ever actually... Well, I guess some of them were Defenders at some point, but none of them were like really core Defenders or... really, I think maybe... Really, were any of them ever Defenders prior to that moment?
I don't know. Here, keep talking.
I like the most I think is maybe Iron Fist or Power Man might have been Defenders.
Probably like for one issue, maybe.
They were on lots of teams. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Hellcat was a Defender. That's like the closest they got to an actual Defender was Hellcat. Hellcat was 1000% a Defender. But the basic idea is, we know we have a Hawkeye, so we have a Kate Bishop. We have a WandaVision that suggests Wiccan and Speed. We have Captain Bucky, which could bring in Elijah Bradley and maybe a Patriot. We certainly already have Kreese and Skrull, so we can get a Hulkling like that. That's the easy one. You can drop a Hulkling anywhere. It's like, good, I'm Hulkling. I exist. That's a thing. But the reality is that you have a setup where I think your more complex characters are kind of written into the story in our Disney Plus. So I think that the idea is that they're setting up the new Young Avengers, or the New Avengers. They'll probably call them the New Avengers. And I think 2 years' time you'll get a Power Man forming the New Avengers as the leader of the Avengers, as the old guy trying to get these kids in line. Oh man, I would love to see the dynamic between Power Man and Hawkeye. You want to take these kids on crazy freaking adventures, and of course we have a Stature now because Stature's 13 years old. So, or 15 years, however old she was in the last movie. The idea that we could build a Young Avengers is already established in the MCU. And Disney Plus seems to be working towards that idea. And the idea that we will get these Young Avengers by the end of it is interesting. And when we have our time-traveling, possibly body-switching Loki, puts an interesting another tack on it. Because we all know Loki is the reason the Avengers form. And if we are to say the reason the Avengers form is because Loki knows the universe needs the Avengers. If the Avengers are kind of in disarray, then Loki, with his time-traveling self, well, I guess the world needs more Avengers.
Oh, hey.
So let me see if I can trick all these people into being Avengers again.
Hey, this article I found on Ranker.com. Talking about all the characters that have been Defenders. And this one sentence: many popular Marvel characters like Ant-Man, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Daredevil have also joined the group.
Really? Okay, so there we go. So we got 3 of 4 Avengers. So there we go. Jessica Jones was never a Defender. So
I mean, you got more comment. We already have Doctor Strange, of course. Yeah. Beast, because we got that.
But he wasn't in the Defenders. That's my point. It's like,
who?
Netflix. Doctor Strange. He wasn't in.
Oh yeah. But I'm saying.
So I'm talking about Netflix Avengers. Yeah. So it's like we had, and so great. Great that Daredevil was a Defender. It
was basically.
I want to see the champions with Angel and Hercules and Ghost Rider.
Yes.
Did you see Danny Ketch's the new Ghost Rider?
Well, yeah, they're coming out with a Danny Ketch book. Yeah.
Well, what I find fascinating about that is that kind of jumps away from Robbie Reyes.
Well, I wonder if Danny Ketch is going to have the solo book, and then is Robbie Reyes going to be in the Avengers book? Although he's trying to get rid of his powers, so I don't know if they're benching him or if they're just going to keep him in Avengers.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting question because they obviously burnt him up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah,
but they keep on saying Ghost Rider, is coming back. So.
Well, yeah, supposedly he's that same actor's reprising the role for that Hulu series. So,
okay, so it's like it's interesting to me that they're unless they're like covering unless they're betting both black and red. Put 50 on black, 50 on red. I never lose money.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they're trying to give everyone their Ghost Rider. Now, I mean, right now, Johnny Blaze is the king of hell, but Mephisto is going to kick him out eventually. So I'm just wondering, are we going to have 3 Ghost Riders? So, like, are you giving everybody what they want? Oh, hey, you like Johnny Blaze? There he is. You like Danny Ketch? There he is. You like Robbie Reyes? He's here, too.
Yeah. I want G-Man back. That's all I'm saying. G-Man was the 1930s Ghost Rider, first shown in the Secret Wars series.
You like these guys with like one letter for names: D-Man, G-Man.
And speaking of D-Man, does anyone else in the universe think that freaking John Walker, what's his name? The guy from Escape from New York.
Wyatt Russell. Yeah,
Wyatt Russell looks a heck of a lot like D-Man in all of the publicity stills.
Oh yeah, he has a big beard, but I wonder if they're going to make him shave it though to play.
He's got a big red beard, and they're doing it for the publicity shots.
Is he red? I thought it was blonde or something.
It's reddish brown. It's like my hair, When I was a young man, you don't know me when I was young. I had gorgeous hair then. Now it's much more. The dish is stronger than the water in my dishwater blonde now. But it's how it is with my people.
What if he's Dennis Dunphy, the US agent?
That's exactly what I was trying to lead to. Way to step on the lead, though. He is Dennis Dunphy. What I'm guessing they're going to do is they want to tell a story. They want to tell a Dennis Dunphy story of the man who. Well, what they really want to do. So here's what they're cramming into a John Walker story. They want to take the John Walker super muscular super patriot. They want to take William Burnside, Captain America obsessive, who becomes Captain America. And they want to take the Dennis Dunphy, I want to be a hero and I want to do good redemption arc.
Fold them all into one character.
Fold them all into one character that they're calling John Walker. So you're thinking, well, this is just going to be John Walker. He's a super racist freaking crazy guy. It's like, no, he's actually way more deep than that because we're going to fold in Dennis Dunphy and freaking William Burnside. So it's like, there's Dennis Dunphy. He gets the serum. He's Captain America. But he's also kind of got some nuts in his head.
They give him the name John Walker as like an alias or like a cover or something.
It sounds like an alias from the start.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like a made up name because like after the whole thing when he becomes U.S. agent, the government fakes his death, and guess what name they give him? Not John.
Jim Beam.
No, you're close. Instead of John Walker, he was Jack Daniels.
Oh, so they gave him Jim Beam at one point. I thought there was another alias of his.
Maybe it's something.
Maybe I just slipped out of that universe again. But Jim Beam's my favorite. I'm just going to say that now. But yeah, so the idea that Dennis Dunphy or Dennis Burnside or however you want to describe this character, was a Captain America obsessive, super, a great fighter because he's MMA champion. And once again, MMA champion Dennis Dunphy wins another round, And it's like, yeah, but I want to do more. He's like, great, it's great to beat up people, but I want to beat up people for a reason. And then here comes Hydra's like, hey, would you like to be the new Captain America? I'd love that. That sounds great. It's like, here, just take this. It's like, wait, what? Whoa, now I'm all muscular. But I have weird thoughts in my head. Maybe that's not good. And you know who helps him when he has the nuts in his head, Phil?
Who?
Squirrel Girl!
Oh, jeez.
talks him down.
I was going to say, Disney Plus, if you want to give Charlie a Christmas and birthday present combined, introduce the Unlimited Class Wrestling Federation into this universe.
Oh my gosh. It makes so much freaking sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I actually, well, and really I still, because Unlimited Class Wrestling has been around since the 80s, because it's an obvious thing. It's like once you have superpowered beings, not everyone wants to be a superhero or supervillain. Some people are like, I would rather just have a decent life, like poor Dan Germain. That should be your first arc of the She-Hulk series, is the Dan Germain story. For those who don't remember, Dan Germain he worked at Roxxon Chemicals, just another guy working at a completely, because there is no OSHA, unsafe plant, and he was a safety inspector. He was Dan Germain. They called him Danger Man. It was a gag for them. Because he was like, hey, that's dangerous. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then he falls into the vat of chemicals, gains superpowers. But then it's like, I don't want superpowers. I don't want to do anything with this. Yeah, I know I'm as strong as the Hulk. I know I'm the most powerful being in the universe, but that's like really not useful in my day-to-day life of coming home to my wife and children and having a nice, quiet life to watch Star Trek reruns on TV. That really isn't, like, that was not on my top 10 list of things I wanted to do. Righting wrongs, yes, I would like wrongs to be righted. I do not want to have to put in that time to right the wrongs. That's what I would have police officers for. Throw them into the vet. Let them go do that. But that has its own bag of hammers problems. Yeah, so the Dan Germain story should definitely be our first She-Hulk arc. Nice. Without a doubt. Dan Germain, he is like one of those forgotten characters in the Marvel Universe that is just so awesome. And he's like, and not for nothing, I'll say this, an Old Man Quill.
Oh, I don't know, man. Let's get to some comics.
Yeah, Old Man Quill, last page, man. I don't know, man. I know he doesn't really look like it, but man, my heart pines for it. Could that guy be Boulder?
That's what I was trying to figure out. If, like, I mean, of course you could recognize Vision, but I was trying to figure out if any of those guys were like, you know,
yeah. I mean,
or
I don't even know if Boulder ever wore goggles, but it's like something about him. It's like, man, he looks like Boulder, because you know there was this whole thing like if he just didn't eat, he'd eventually lose weight, which doesn't make any sense because it's like his weight and his powers aren't in any way tied.
I mean, it's a post-apocalyptic world. I mean, probably hard to get a decent meal.
Yeah, and he doesn't need to eat. You know, that's the thing. It's like he could just keep on going without ever eating, and it's like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. And, you know, and he's just doing these things, and it's like through repetitive motion, just, he eventually got ripped and skinny, and it's like, yeah, you know, I guess so. It's like, you know, I don't know. But that they would introduce Boulder in this story would make me so happy. And the idea, and I love it just because Quill is so crazy, but he's like aware of his own crazy. It's like, none of you are real. And Rocket's like, yeah, I know you finally figured it out, but which makes me wonder if there's like a bug in his brain or something that's like causing these hallucinations. But Viv and the Avengers have found him after he creates a temporal basically folds space-time upon itself, which, gee, how could that cause the Return of Heroes folding space-time on itself? I don't know. Let's look at the cover of next issue. What the what?
Yeah, I know.
That one. Yeah.
Seeing me traveling through time.
Oh, hey, can I just call out Vision on the whole Marvel Quest thing? Because Vision kind of had that's the old Vision. That's
I was going to say, that's like from the 40s, right?
Yeah, 40s Vision, who got a like reprieve when they brought Toro back to life with the Winter Soldier series they did during the Iron Man and Toro story. And it's like the whole idea is that, you know, the Vision's whole existence is we find cosmic cubes, which are essentially unevolved Beyonders, help them come to be proper Beyonders. There's stuff going on with the Beyonders, man, which is why I am not dismissing the idea that they found the Beyonder's body, and that's who's under the sheet in that thing, you know. So, so next issue, Old Man Quill falls through space and time, and then all the heroes come back.
But the one thing I thought was funny, because we see Doom getting the report, oh yeah, there was like this big space-time event, by the old Baxter building. Still, he doesn't say a word. Still Madam Mask, prepare, Lord Doom ship and stuff. I'm like, what are we going to get, like, next issue? Like, Madam Mask walking Doom around, like, Weekend at Bernie's. It's like, how dare you, district, how dare you,
Well, I mean, I wonder, although I will say they give a really good shot of his eyes, and they look very well preserved. So,
but again, it's Doom.
Oh my gosh! I just remembered. Doom has brown eyes.
Oh, those are blue here.
Yeah, and you know what that reminds me of? Oh my gosh! Oh, that is like either two colorists making the same mistake twice, or one of the most interestingly deep Old Man Universe questions ever answered. In the original Old Man Logan, when they do a flashback to the Red Skull killing Cap, Cap has brown eyes, suggesting it was Bucky, not Steve Rogers' Cap. What? Now, Reed has brown eyes, too. So that Doom can't be Reed. It could be.
Oh, who were you going to say?
I was going to say Johnny Storm, though it could be Ben Grimm, too.
I was going to say, what about Kristoff?
Oh, it could. I don't know.
I don't know what color. I don't know what color.
Yeah, I don't know what color Kristoff's eyes are off the top of my head. It's funny because I usually know exactly what color everyone's eyes are in the Marvel stores. They're blue, green, blue, red, 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 blue. Not red? Yeah. Well, there actually are several characters with red eyes. So, but yeah. But that is interesting because I remember Doom has brown eyes.
Yeah.
And that is a very specific trope. And again, a trope that again was equally subverted in this universe with Captain America having brown eyes. Here's the thing. I think people who write comic books probably read them from time to time. And I think that if someone said, we're doing something in the Old Maniverse, it's like, well, what's the Old Maniverse? Oh, there was this series that Millar did a while ago called Old Man Logan. And we've done a couple stories in there. We just did Old Man Hawkeye. I
mean, that panel, we intentionally, they really get a close-up of his eyes. So, yeah.
And not for nothing, it's like 15 books. So it's like, if that was your job to read 15 comic books in a day, you'd probably read 15 comic books in a day. I read like 6 in 2 hours, so I think you could pull that off. And still have time to sit with the wife and kids after. So that is an interesting decision that was made, and that could be a huge revelation. What color are Doom's eyes? And so an Old Man Quill, so he beats up the bad guys, creates a space-time continuum warp, yada, yada, yada. Craziness ensues, is found by Viv and the new Avengers with Boulder. You know what? If you didn't eat for 1,000 years because you didn't have to, maybe you wouldn't, Yeah. And he's a hero. So, of course, it's like if there's only so much food around, he's a fry cook. He's going to feed you. He's not going to eat himself. Oh, yeah. Because he doesn't need to. He's never hungry. That's the thing. It's like he ate for pleasure. He drinks soda. He drinks soda rather than alcohol because alcohol doesn't affect him. It's like, well, I like the taste of soda. But at the moment that nothing actually has any value to him, it's like, well, I'll give you, have a soda. Have the clean water. Have whatever. It's like, I don't die. I'm Boulder.
Yeah.
And so, I guess Tony Stark was right. Eventually I did lose the weight. So good for Tony Stark in his theory that over 1,000 years, if I didn't eat anything, I would eventually lose the weight. Yay him. Did you read Fantastic Four this week, Philip?
Yes, I did.
Man. Okay. Was this like a special cover, or did everyone get this cover?
No, because it must be a different cover, because, mine's different. I got the 4 of them on the cover. I got this cover.
Yeah. Oh. I like this cover, because it is about the mutation of Ben into the Thing. And, for a completely Talking Heads book, and this is literally, let's go to a museum and talk about the exhibits episode.
The original space flight of the Fantastic Four.
And did you notice what the name of the ship is called?
Was it the Marvel one?
Yes. Do you think for 5 seconds that it was ever called the Marvel one prior to this issue?
Well, no, there was a bunch of retcons in this, like those other two crew members that were supposed to go up with them.
Yeah, those are completely new. But the Marvel, that's what I find most and again, Franklin, don't be creative, okay? No one asked you to rename the ship your parents went up in. I know, obviously, not for nothing, it actually suggests that Franklin totally comically aware. Like, no, they're going to like this if I call it the Marvel one.
Do you think Franklin's that much in control, or does he just like change stuff up and it's like, oh, now they're calling it the Marvel one? Oh, okay.
Yeah, or maybe as we saw in Future Foundation that was actually Owen Reese. Because Owen Reese is the Beyonder, and the Beyonder is Owen Reese, and the Beyonder is trying to recreate a self that is contained. If there's a concept that's to be taken from Secret Wars 2, and everything else that has happened since then, it's that the Beyonder wants to have a contained self because he is torn apart by the universe in the same way that the Molecule Man tore apart evil Reed Richards.
Well, I mean, you call that Rocket the Marvel one. That says to me that, you know, if there has been tampering with the universe, someone's breaking the fourth wall to know that these are Marvel comics. Do you think since the death of the universe and Secret Wars and put back together, can Molecule Man break the fourth wall now?
Oh, I would imagine he always could.
But I'd say even more so now that he's seen what's out, you know.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is like the entire universe was laid bare.
Yes.
And or maybe it's all Gwenpool. But but what I love about this is the idea, and you know, this is I don't know if any old men are reading this comic book aside from me, but this is an old man comic book. It's okay. You know, but yeah, you have to have a wife to get that entire get all the wife and husband scenes. But I'm like, well, yeah, you know, I know what you're gonna do. And I love the fact that you're going to do it. I love everything that you're doing. Again, having a good relationship of a wife who, like, I know you're quirky. You like that I'm quirky. You know, Reed Richards doesn't care that his wife's a spy. Yeah, go spy it up, sweetheart. That makes you happy. Go spy it up.
Instead of the guy who runs his model railroad in the basement, he's building rocket ships.
Well, no, but like I said, it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
You know? Like with Reed Richards, you're going to tell me Reed Richards doesn't know his wife is a secret S.H.I.E.L.D. agent that she's going off. You know, he knows. You're like, oh, yeah, I was just looking into that. It's like, oh, okay, you're hanging out with that dude and you're having flirty conversations with him. That's fine, you know.
At least it's like Namor.
Not for nothing. You know, Namor was a creep. Namor was a total creeper. He's totally like, I am Namor, so you should have sex with me. And it's like, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. You can't just say, I am Namor, so have sex with me. It's like, no, you're a Namor, and maybe if you're an interesting person and have a nice conversation, maybe we might have sex, but,
I mean,
you know, dude.
He's the ultimate creeper, and how many of those appearances he just shows up in his underwear?
Well, yeah, I mean, well, you know, you live underwater, you have different senses of modesty. You know, that's the thing. It's like,
Aquaman,
for whatever reason, the women still wear bikinis underneath the water. So, but the idea is that, you know, Reed, I think Reed is cool with, and for what it's worth, Reed has like partnered with Namor many times. He's like, no, dude, I actually have a good relationship, so I'm not worried about my wife leaving me.
Yeah.
For you, you know. By contrast, obviously, evil Reed Richards in the Future Foundation had a bad relationship with his wife, or the person he wanted to marry. He's like, no, I don't want to marry you, dude. You're a creeper, and that led him down the path of villainy. Because, dude, really, is it that important that you have to go down the path of villainy because a girl wouldn't date you? That's your bar. That's your bar. It's like, oh, the girl I wanted didn't want to tip me. I'll show them all. It's like, dude, at least like Dr. Doom had like his face mangled and stuff, you know. It's like, you know, at least he's like, no, I was a genius and the fools doubted my science. Like, girl didn't want to date me. I'll destroy the universe because it's like, well, dude, you are like such a pathetic supervillain.
Namor's royalty. I mean, basically, maybe that's the first time he heard no.
Yeah, not for nothing. You know, I mean, maybe that's the thing. Yeah, thanks for getting me back on track with Namor. But but here, you know, and again, like, I mean, in its own way, kind of jerky in the way that, like, Reed redesigns the apartment, and Alicia's like, you know, dude, I'm blind. You can't move walls.
Exactly.
Without telling me, because it's like really freaking rude. You know I'm a blind person. You know I'm in here, and you know I need to know where the freaking walls are. He's like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry.
I mean, that's kind of weird for sighted people. For a blind person, that's even worse.
Yeah, really. Yeah, not for nothing. But, you know, then, of course, Alicia's like, I know you're going up in the dang spaceship. You know, don't. It's like,
let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah, let's not kid ourselves, Ben. I know who you are. I know what you're doing. It's like, yeah. It's like, oh, wait, you made the ship so that I could drive it? It's like, obviously, we always wanted you to drive it. This should not be a surprise to you, Ben. You're not that dumb, you know? And then they go off into space and, you know, have, again, I want to know if Reed actually... So, next issue, I want Reed to say, actually, no, I did actually schedule this flight with the FAA. And we did clear it with NASA and everyone. We said, look, we're going to shoot a rocket into space. I'd like to do this. I'd like to do this on the 25th of November at 8:09 p.m. if that works for you guys. Like, yeah, okay, Reed, we'll allow it. And so they did. But I want that scene, Marvel writers. I want this scene where Reed explains that, yes, I did talk to the FAA. This is not an illegal rocket flight. I actually filled out all the forms in triplicate to make sure that we could fly today.
Or what about a special arrangement where, like, you know, the space from, like, above their headquarters to orbit is like a no-fly zone, so, like, they just have like a straight shot up where, like, no planes can fly through.
Not for nothing, that's actually really practical.
Yeah.
That you should have that straight shot, no-fly zone.
Especially for them.
Yeah, it's like, dude, they're the Fantastic Four. They're going to be flying into space.
Exactly.
You know. Oh, so that was Fantastic Four. I love that book this week. Let's see here. We talked a bit about Savage Avengers and the fact that...
Spoiler, Lilith, if you haven't read it yet, don't listen to this part.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, not much happens in Savage Avengers except for the fact that we find out that apparently the summoning of the Marrow God was all part of a further diabolical plan by the evil wizard.
Yeah.
And we also saw that Conan does not like being teleported.
Doesn't like magic worked on him.
Yes. Well, exactly. It's like, dude, don't freaking work magic on me, man. Which, honestly, not for nothing, that's how everyone in the universe should be.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you know, it's like, dude, you could, you know, it's like, we fear hypnotists sometimes because don't make me cluck like a chicken. I'm going to make him cluck like a chicken. You know, it's like, dude, I don't want to be not in control. And it's like, well, you know, meanwhile, everyone else is like, we do it all the time. It's like stepping into a jumbo jet. You know, it doesn't matter if it's destroying the environment. We're going to fly ourselves to where we want to be quickly rather than have to wait.
I mean, you're a bigger Conan expert than I am, but I mean, most of the time when Conan encounters magic, it's usually not good, right?
Well, I mean, Barbarians never like magic because magic is, you know, basically, and this is the crux of the Savage Avengers arc, which is the idea of can I tell you about our Lord and Despot Crom? Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, look, Crom holds us in. Crom gives us life, and when we run out of life, Crom watches us die. That's all Crom does. Mm-hmm. You don't want to gain the attention of Crom. You don't want Crom to make you his special favorite, because then all that's going to happen to you is everyone you love is going to die. Crom is the reader. Crom is the person. Like, oh, let's see what happens next. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely if the person he fell in love with died horribly? Let's see what happens. And that's Crom, and that is where Conan is coming from. In this issue of Conan, we actually, as you will recall, we're watching, the blood witches or whatever drain him, and we find him in this, because of course this is, as much as I don't like time travel or disjointed stories, I love Conan. So Conan is doing it well because it's already established its larger framing device. Mm-hmm. Whereas X-Men is doing it poorly because we have no idea what its larger framing device is.
Yes.
Now that Conan is, by its nature, somewhat disconnected from the Marvel Universe as a whole is probably why it has its pass. So when you jump into X-Men and you do this, it's a little harder to do because it's like, well, that's one of the core pillars of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
You can't just mess with it. But in this issue, we have essentially Conan waking up, as he has in most of these episodes, sort of in a random point in time, and he's fighting monsters and he doesn't remember why. We find out that first off, he fights Gorilla Man for some reason, and sees that actually it's just a memory. It's actually a leech monster. But eventually he meets the White Witch, right there, who has only existed within the Leviathan God. The Leviathan God is a giant Leviathan under the ocean, yada, yada, yada. Don't know this for a few pages, but eventually we get to the Lagoon of Blood, from which all rivers flow, because all the caves are inside the monster. Conan faces the monster from his future. That's his future monster. I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
Obviously, I think it's Carnage. I don't want to see Carnage in the Conan verse, but
Well, I mean, he might face him in Savage Avengers, maybe.
Yeah, whatever it is. But he kills the Leviathan God, which is a big, basically giant sea worm, earthworm monster, double-headed thing, worm inside a worm concept. All his friends get to go free. And the White Witch, who's the one guiding him, who was born within the Leviathan God, makes the point that, the thing he saw was from his future, and it's the future in which he dies. So I don't know if that's the demon that he's eventually sacrificed to as the arc of the story, and how that's going to turn in. But Conan, I think, has a really strong plot line that I think is building towards something big within the Marvel Universe.
But you skipped the best part of Savage Avengers, the end.
Which was?
He doesn't want teleported out of the Savage Land, so him and Frank Castle kind of do like a buddy road trip out of the Savage Land, carrying Castle's dead family.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting because I was just like, wait, why is Castle dragging doing? So, Castle's dragging the children, Conan's dragging his wife. So the two kids are equal in weight to the one wife. I'm wondering about that debate when they were discussing like who's going to drag who.
I mean, I get it. I love the buddy road trip thing with the two of them walking out of the Savage Land. But like, if you're the Punisher, wouldn't you like ask the rest of them, be like, oh hey, since you're teleporting out of here, can you like take my wife and kids and like put them back to rest?
Yeah, except he's on a spiritual journey right now. Remember, he has heard the good news of Crom, and
I know
that's the thing. It's like, oh wait, there's a God who doesn't care about us, who actually is. No, but from Frank Castle's perspective, the idea that there's a God who's a nihilist,
yes,
who's like, that's the idea, and the idea is the idea for Disney.
Tell me more.
See, let's see here. There's a lot of people who out there keep on posting these nihilistic memes. How could we monetize that? It's like, well, if they were a religion of nihilists, that might work. It's like, do we own any nihilistic religions? It's like, well, the closest we had was Conan. We had them in the 80s, but then we didn't pay the fines. How much is it? Well, like $50,000. Buy me a Conan, and spread the good news of crime around the world so we can have the nihilists at our beck and call. I am the Emperor Mouse. All who bow before me. Tristan said he fell asleep before the Emperor Mouse showed up. But, yeah, so definitely Disney wants to make a religion for nihilists based around crime, in which all nihilists worship crime because crime doesn't give a crap.
All right, running long. We're over an hour, but so let's.
Oh my gosh!
Last book. Let's do Immortal Hulk.
Oh, Immortal Hulk. Hey, that's still a book. Yeah, that was fun. Synopsis. Jackie McGee has difficulties with the Hulk. Rick Jones is actually still a pretty cool guy. Things never work out the way you think they're gonna. So, plotline, we have the flashback,
How the Hulk.
Jackie McGee with her dad there, because the emergency Hulk alert system, which I guess is like a tornado warning in the Midwest for the Southwest. Now, for what it's worth, when tornado warnings came into the Midwest, we largely ignored them. I mean, we knew about them. We knew what a danger they were, but we also were like, okay, is it a warning or is it a watch, or where are we exactly? Do we need to get into the basement yet? And most Midwesterners knew when it was time, okay, time to go to the basement. So this is actually, and for what it's worth, this is a Hulk warning. This is a Hulk warning. This isn't a Hulk watch. This is a Hulk warning.
Yeah.
So that is time to go to the basement. The only problem is most homes in the Southwest weren't built with basements. Sure. So that's your basic problem here, is that houses in the Southwest don't necessarily have basements, so they didn't have a place to go in the event of a
Well, it says evacuate your homes immediately.
Well, yeah, exactly. You have to evacuate, which is the difficult aspect of the story. But obviously that Hulk warning came too late because the Hulk was already there. Apparently, Hulks move faster than tornadoes in more unpredictable patterns. But again, if you already live in the Southwest and you know you have a Hulk problem, maybe you should have invested in a basement. That's all I'm saying. You should have had a Hulk shelter in your house, because his books come out at least once a month, which means once a month somebody's town is getting destroyed in the American Southwest. So,
did you catch the shout out to the Bill Bixby series? In the Hulk,
creature controlled by rage.
The creature's driven by rage. Yeah.
Yeah, driven by. I saw that. I was waiting for them to do the whole spiel, but they didn't. It just did that little bit. And they make the point that when she first saw the Hulk, he was a child's rage. Mm-hmm. And then when she later met the Hulk, he was a directed rage. And that this time, it's not a child's rage; it is a calculating rage.
And her father died the day Hulk got his presidential pardon.
Yeah, well, I could see how that was a big old F you. Want to tell me what you want to know? What I'm most excited about? I probably knew they had a letters page, but they actually have a letters page in the Hulk.
Yeah, they've had.
I'm gonna write me a letter.
Oh, do it!
Yeah, I know they had it for you, because I want to talk about my absorbing man theory, that he absorbs the personalities of people he's around, and that he's been around heroes is why he's like, dude, I don't want to be a jerk all the time. And I kind of feel like Tatiana is kind of like, when she was enabled by villains, she was like, yes, let's be villainous. And then as soon as Carl's like, no, why don't we just try being good for a minute? Yeah, okay, that sounds fine. Yeah. Because she's just a girl from freaking Colorado, It's like, yeah, she hated the jerks who picked on her in high school, but aside from that, it's like, she doesn't like the She-Hulk. Let's all be clear here. She-Hulk's kind of a jerk, but, she's kind of enabled by who she's around. She's around Crusher, and when Crusher is around heroes, Crusher gets better. So I want to write that letter. Tomorrow morning I will write the letter, and we'll see if it gets published.
Yes.
I'll type OK to print in my thing, and we'll see if it gets printed. Because honestly, I'm far more interested in the arc of Crusher Krell than by this Banner dude who seems honestly kind of like a sociopath from start to finish. It's like, I want to smash things as a child. I'll build a bomb as a grown man. Now I'm a Hulk. Now I'll smash things some more. And now that I'm going to pretend like I'm intellectualizing my smashing, I would say, well, humanity doesn't deserve to live, so I'll smash it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, you kind of seem like a jerk all around, but now you're like, just seems like you're justifying your jerkiness. So,
and I was all, at the end there when the Hulk gets that stuff sprayed on his face and it's like stuck to his face and he starts ripping it off. And you could tell like the skin ripping off. I'm like, oh, tell me he's gonna rip it off, and like you're gonna see like Joe fix it underneath it. But no, he just rips his face off.
Yeah, well, because that's. Remember when the Hulk fought Vector in the Peter David series, and like he's just like a skeleton? It's like, no, I'm still the freaking Hulk. It's like my powers don't come from, because the Hulk strength doesn't come from his muscle.
No,
they come from the fact that he's the freaking Hulk. He's tied to the Hulk force, and yes, he can present that as being big and strong.
Mm-hmm.
But you see his cousin, and it's like, no, I'm just tall. I wanted to be tall. I wanted to be tall, and then I'm wearing heels as I'm tall, which is like, it's like I would put myself in more discomfort just to be 2 inches taller, because that's my mindset as freaking She-Hulk,
Yeah.
Yeah, but there you go. Yeah, I mean, I loved Immortal Hulk, and I'm gonna write that letter, and it's gonna be fun, and it'll be wonderful. Yeah, I mean, great book. Savage Avengers was great, as we talked about. Have I told you about Crom? Champions was good. Apparently, Blackheart is infecting all of the champions, which is why Riri attacked Viv, but Viv 2.0 took over. She's a subroutine. Viv 2.8 tried to kill Viv. It's like, yeah, but we're cool now. I'm better now. It's basically Viv's dealing with her own Hulk. So anyway, yada, yada, yada. It ends with the big showdown between the good champions and the bad champions. And some of the bad champions are the new guys, but, we won't talk about that. But then, hey, so you don't get worried too much. Final issue, because I'm guessing they're ending this, because it says concluded. And they have all the champions being all cool with each other. So they spoiled it in the book. What can I say? Or they're doing that misdirecting. Oh, final episode. Everyone's going to be cool. But then maybe less so.
They'll reboot it.
Well, yeah. Okay. Talk about that. Trying to see if there's any book that I read that we didn't talk about.
Going long, dude. Come on.
Oh. I'm sorry, what?
I said we're going long.
Okay, well... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to end the show. Okay, let's end the show, Philip.
All right. What's your show? Okay.
Well, usually, Philip, I toss to you.
I know.
Closed it.
All right. Well, you can always get a hold of me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I'm at nightwingpdp. But we don't promote this enough. Guys, you can follow Superconnectivity on Facebook, facebook.com/Superconnectivity Podcast. And on Twitter, it's at SuperConnectPod. Okay, and of course, write to me the old-fashioned email with your mothers and fathers once did. At superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. You can follow me on the Twitter. It's the live tweet things when I feel like it, at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing! Sorry, I didn't know if Maz said 2 E's or not. Okay, so kids, play the music, Philip. Let's get out of here. Thank you for connecting with us this week. Please super connect with us again next, and we'll see what happens then. Good night. Hope you had a happy Labor Day holiday, and hope you have a good weekend.
He fell asleep 15 minutes ago. Just because he's talking, he fell asleep 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm totally. This is complete non sequitur dream speaking.
He's gonna message me like in the morning and be like, how did we end it? I don't remember.
I don't remember
anything after Savage Avengers. What happened?